These are...
It's game time.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Is the next step the transplantation of the human brain?
Ballsy. Stupid, but ballsy.
Stand by for action.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Okay. Remember, we're not dealing with an intelligence on our own level.
Bring in the logic probe.
Ooh. End of line.
Welcome back to the Gamers Haven podcast. We've been, our usual busy selves around here. We're all sitting at laptops now. Jeremy, of course, has discovered the awesomeness of Chick-fil-A, and Nathan is Nathan, really,
Yeah, there isn't really much you can say about that. That's bad enough as it is.
Yeah, that's true. What are we talking about today? We're talking about Chick-fil-A and the Chick-fil-A role-playing game. Is there a Chick-fil-A role-playing game? There should be. Hey. Although you couldn't play it on Sundays.
That's okay.
Anyway, we are talking, actually, we're blithely stealing from a blog topic of a blog post of one of our listeners of running a new system, or sort of, playing a new system, going to a new system, sort of running new game systems, and sort of our advice and, sort of talking about that sort of thing.
They put it on the forums.
Yeah, so it's ours now. And then we got some lovely random encounters. We also got our 3-parter today. Man, we're just sort of right down to business and brass tacks. Jeremy's looking at internet porn. Nathan is...
I'm reading up on articles on DRM and how Ubisoft is an idiot company.
There you go.
Internet porn.
Internet porn. Yes, it's internet porn.
My internet porn. Yeah.
And that's the show, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
We'll see you
guys
next
go
time.
home. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. But we'll have a new third host.
Becca.
Yes, Becca. We'll be back after this. Noble Knight Games has been serving the needs of thousands of gamers worldwide since 1997. With a huge selection of over 30,000 unique products, including discounts on most in-print games of up to 50% off or more. Noble Knight Games is the place for out-of-print RPGs, board games, war games, collectible card games, miniatures, and all things game-related. They ship worldwide and will purchase or trade your titles you no longer need, new, or used. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Just visit www.nobleknight.com or visit our website for direct access to thousands of new, out-of-print, and in some cases, one-of-a-kind items.
This is the Vorpal Network.
And we are back. And I guess, today we're talking about running a new system or transitioning over to a new system. I think it take a lot of different forms, either going from one edition to another or from one entire different game system to a entirely other different game system, I guess.
Which we've done on actually many occasions.
Yeah.
Like right now...
I think most notably I went from Mutants and Masterminds.
Which was like the best conversion you ever could have done.
Mutants and Masterminds is awesome.
Silver Age Sentinels is not a bad system,
but it's
not
still
fairly
at all.
complex.
The combat took forever.
At least it wasn't Champions.
Oh, no. Yeah, that is true, Champions.
And like in my case right now, I'm in the process of converting everything over from my 3.5 game to Pathfinder.
He's converting... Actually, no, I've read it. It's more like 3.6.
There's not a whole lot of differences, but I was
if you want a 3.75, Star Wars Saga Edition is a good sort of example.
The thing that we encountered as I was reading it is that there are very minor changes to the system, but they're not enough to make it a really that much of a different system. And as I was saying to Ethan earlier, is honestly there's really not much more you can expand on adhering to the open gaming license for 3.5.
Right.
There's just not much more you can do unless you want to completely alter the system.
Yeah, but when you're looking at, I guess we should start with if you have a game you've been running for a while, and then you're transitioning it to another system. Now we've all sort of dealt with that. With at least Jeremy, you did it with second ed to third ed.
Yeah, and that was tough. Let me tell you.
Well, we all know that went over well.
It was painful for some people. I was just like...
It was fine for most others.
It was tough because a lot of things changed. Like
there was
stuff were done.
Yeah, and there was a conversion guide to do it. But I mean, obviously, they really wanted you to just make new characters.
I just went, thank God, no THAC0.
Yes,
there was. I liked THAC0, but I was weird.
Yes, well,
I don't think I could. Well, I still am, but I'm at that point now where I don't know if I could actually calculate THAC0 anymore.
Yeah. Well, any game system where you require a chart, I think, is kind of backwards at this point. So charts for every kind of roll. That's not cool. Well, this is like Gate War bad.
Well, that's Gate.
Yes, I failed my eating check.
Middle Earth role playing had combat charts for everything.
That is true.
But they had cool things like you trip over an invisible dead turtle, you're stunned for 1 round.
Yes. Well.
Or the attack goes off so well, you shatter the enemy, pulverizing every bone into his body, turning him into a gelatinous goo. Try a spatula.
Ew.
That was one of the crits on the table.
Yes. Well,
transitioning
to a new system, I think there's a lot that sort of goes into that. Jeremy, of course, is looking at me like my head's on fire.
I was just like, hey, look, I got a new monster manual. I don't really care what you guys do. You're going to...
Yeah, don't do that as a GM.
Roll that, roll this. Oh, that doesn't transfer over. Obviously, it's not important.
Do something else.
Yeah. You're obviously going to have to use a very important feat to replace that useless feat.
Yes. Well, someone shouldn't have made their character using skills and powers. Anyway.
Right.
Yes. Where was I? Right.
Although there are some good books that are add-ons, like From Stone to Steel.
Well, that was
by Monkey God Publishing.
That's third edition. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can be easily converted to 3.5.
You just got unplugged.
I've been unplugged. I'm draining my battery. I have to.
Oh.
I need to cycle it. It's been out of my notebook for 3 months at 100% charge. It needs to be drained and recharged.
Bonus. All right.
Otherwise, I'll kill the battery.
We've all sort of had the experience of moving over to a new system, and there can always be some resistance from players, I think.
And a lot of times you run into teething pains with the system itself.
Oh, yeah.
That's just futile.
Resistance is futile.
We are the
well,
board.
it's a decision I think you need to make with your players rather than
against
your players. As Jeremy goes, no,
not really.
We're going to do this.
Because if they don't want to play,
they just stop playing
video games, so it works out.
Well, the thing is the fact of the matter is no matter how much some people dislike a system, you're never going to lose your entire party to a system change unless they're just absolutely adamant. I mean, you may have one or two players.
I think
out.
People are a bit more rabid about it when it comes to things like Dungeons and Dragons. They get very attached to an actual system. I was attached to the original Deadlands system, and then I discovered how cool Savage Worlds was because I got my head out of my butt. And went, hey, this doesn't suck.
I was afraid to try Savage Worlds because I thought it was going to be complicated because every other system out there has a level of complicated to it.
I think that's one thing is don't be afraid to try a new system. Don't be afraid to try a new game. There are a lot of generic systems out there that you can try. I mean, there's now True 20, there's GURPS, which will be there till the end of time. The end of time because there's GURPS End of Time, I'm sure, somewhere. The Large Hadron Collider, I'm sure, they crack open those things and GURPS falls out.
They fall out of the atoms.
It's like, no, we found a GURPS book. Hero System.
There's
Fudge.
There's
yes.
the system that Call of Cthulhu is based off of.
The BRP, Basic Role Playing System. Yeah. That was that. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a number of them, I think, really. Palladium has their own system, but really that's Palladium. Why in God's name would you play that anyway?
Where somebody has made it something system light.
Right. Yeah, because there is GURPS Lite. There's other things like that. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. There's Quags, the quick-ass gaming system. There's a lot of them. I think really, some of the initial ones, GURPS and Hero and stuff like that, are still out there.
A gaming system called
Quick Ass Gaming System.
That's awesome.
I have the rules somewhere.
There's EABA's End All Be All.
There's the Gumshoe system, which I don't know what it's based off of.
There's a lot of systems out there you can use for various things, but I think it's really depending on what you're transferring something over to, or you're wanting to try this new system. Right now, let's talk about transferring an existing campaign. You really want to, I think, go with a game system that you have that has the right flavor that you're looking for. Because I think Savage Worlds is great, but I think it works best sort of in a cinematic pulp style game. I really don't think it would do superheroes well because, well, you have Mutants and Masterminds for that, so why would you try anything else?
It did well with Pirates.
Oh yeah, but that's cinematic pulp style, cinematic pulp style type of game.
It would make it'd be great for space operas. It would be great for high fantasy type games if you keep the system on a bit of a leash. It works well for systems where you want to have that whole
and
big flare.
No,
type
Savage
fight.
Worlds is good. It's got a lot going for it if you want to go for this the cinematic style thing. And I think there are some things that Savage Worlds just would not work with. Then you can move on to D20, and I still sort of hold to it now. I think the D20 system worked great for D&D, but I don't think it worked well for anything else.
It did okay for Call of Cthulhu. The D20 Call of Cthulhu was very well written.
Yeah,
it was written by
Monty Cook. We love
Cook,
Monty,
which
so.
is why I think it worked so well. But even it had some inherent problems. Like the whole thing with Call of Cthulhu is that you have a set number of hit points from the start. You never get any better.
The hit point. Well, the whole concept of the D20 thing is hit points, armor class, or defense, or whatever. And I think that it's just so fundamentally D&D that you're always going to associate it with that. And strength, dex, con, all those.
Yeah, I agree.
But with OGL, the things have sort of adapted out of it, and I really consider like Mutants and Masterminds and True 20 and stuff like that to be, yes, they are spawned from the D20 system, but I think they've evolved into their own thing now.
I mean, Mutants and Masterminds. If you'd never played D&D or any of the OGL licensed games, you would never know that was based off of D&D because the way you do the system, the only thing the same in that entire game are the stats.
Strength, dex, con, then your saves and all that.
Though, how you could take one game or one rule set, D20 basically, and go to any
type of setting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really, for that type of thing, I wish I would have started with GURPS.
Right.
Because GURPS is fairly straightforward and works with so many different things.
Well, they also have thousands of source books for GURPS to actually adapt other systems to the GURPS system.
Awesome, anyway.
The Stargate system.
Cops.
Oh yeah, GURPS Cops. Yes. GURPS Cops.
I like GURPS Cthulhu too.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, there's a Savage Worlds Cthulhu out there too.
I know that. I want to check that out.
It's Realms of Cthulhu, I think is what it's called. But the. I just got to iterate. It just goes into the type of a feeling you're going for. And, talk to your players about it type of thing, really. I mean, I know that's sort of our cop-out thing on everything is to go talk to your players, you morons, et cetera, blah, blah, blah.
Well, see, the thing is what's the point in being the GM if the whole setting and the premise of the game that you're going to be playing is solely for the satisfaction of yourself? Why do you even need players then?
Oh, yeah.
If you're not going to actually have anything that makes the players have a good time, why are you even running the game?
Yeah.
But I will point out that some players, as a group, won't allow or won't take the step forward to say, okay, this system has very good benefits. Like, when we jumped from 2nd edition to 3rd edition,
I was all for that.
The benefits outweighed the annoyance that they thought.
Oh, hell yeah.
But sometimes it's up to, if a person really likes their character, the rule set shouldn't matter as much because they're not going to actually...
Might help if your mic was on.
So did you get any of that?
Oh yeah, we're picking you up on our mics.
Okay,
but,
that's good. I had it on earlier, but obviously somebody turned it off when I was looking away. Anyway,
Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, with the third point,
Some players just won't do it.
yeah, they don't want to change.
you
They want
have
to be.
to-
They want to stick.
You just have to say, well, guys, we're going to give this a try.
And whereas I admit the transfer from second ed AD&D to third ed D&D was quite painful.
No,
because
it's
it
really
was,
jarring, and it depends on where you're coming
Yeah.
from.
I had been
If
playing
you're used to a
AD&D
system, if you're really used to a system,
Yeah.
then obviously yes, it's going to be. It's like the whole thing we're seeing now with third to fourth ed is people are very taken aback by the differences between them.
Yeah, and I don't.
and
Like,
there's
we have the whole thing
the
here.
same
You guys
thing-
both like it, and I don't
Yeah,
like it.
it's the
And-
same thing happened with second to third edition. Is people were like, whoa, this is way too different. You know.
Well, see, the thing was, is as different as it was, when you read the books, you could see the benefits. Yeah, there were some drawbacks, like the
Well, I think
Rangers suddenly became crap.
And I think players have to be able to trust their GM in order to make a decision saying, well, I think this will be better for us if we transfer to this system because I think it works better.
It was actually more painful for me as a GM to go from 3.0 to 3.5
because the changes were minor changes that you kept
so
forgetting.
you would
but
have
they made
this,
a big impact.
Well, even something as you would just forget. You'd be like, okay, so I'm gonna have this monster, blah blah blah, and then you're like,
oh crap, that monster
this
can't do that
doesn't
anymore.
work. At least in second edition, you're like, I can't use this at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to happen. So
the nice thing about going from second edition to third edition is that with third edition, if there was something you really wanted to throw at the party, you could find the rules to do it. Where it was a little bit harder.
Well,
really
I think that came about because of the OGL. You know, you just had so much material you could use.
And I think the Open Gaming License was actually a response to the whole how tight
TSR was. Yeah.
So tight with the way they did D&D that no one. I mean, people used the letters D and D and concurrent and like that order in any of their books. TSR would sue the ever-loving crap out of them. They were so protective of their system. I mean, they ran other systems, other companies out of business, completely out of business, and producing because their product was deemed too close to Dungeons and Dragons product. I mean, one prime example is Mayfair Games. I mean, all they do now is
they
board
did.
games.
Well, Mayfair had the Roll Aids line, which were universally
And
touted
Chill.
as some of the best D&D stuff that was out there.
Yeah.
And TSR sued them and made them stop. So
actually killed their whole game.
Yeah, killed their RPG line. I remember that
because they did Chill as well, and they stopped.
Yeah,
doing
they
Chill.
also did Underground.
I never played that one.
The interesting game.
Was it? You know what would make a good role playing game? Zork.
Okay.
You don't remember Zork, do you?
Nope.
Enter a room. It is dark. You were eaten by a grue.
Nice.
It was it's one of the
it's
old.
like Shadowgate though.
It was made by the same company. Icon.
Go left, turn left, and you die.
This
Well,
little
that's
text-based
sort of
adventure game.
transitioning from one system from one type of system or from an existing game system to a new type of system.
Yeah, to an update of the system.
Which I think we've all pretty much done. I mean, I started D&D in third ed, so I mean, I had to deal with the transition to 3.5. I wasn't running anything in third ed when fourth ed came out, so I didn't really have to worry about that. Jeremy, you did. How was that? How was that conversion for you?
I blew up a continent and sunk it.
Nice.
That's.
You blew up a continent in Andradia?
No, I blew up a continent that no one ever really knew existed. So,
score. We like that.
It's background material, but it worked.
Yes. Well, I'm talking system-wise.
System-wise,
I'm sure there were complaints, but the thing is overall, I think most of your players actually have a good time with fourth ed, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I, as a player for fourth ed, it was like, holy crap, I can survive.
Yeah.
Well, the wizard still gets knocked down in 2 hits because the monsters do more damage. The elite monsters do.
Well, that's because they're an elite monster. But from a system,
for standard monsters, the minions do a hell of a lot less damage. You can actually stay up in a fight. You can go toe to toe a lot longer, which is for that response is nice.
System-wise, comparing my Tim 2nd edition, even Arcana involved, to Tim 4th edition. Tim 2nd edition was
Or Tim, 3rd edition.
3rd edition, excuse me.
Yeah.
To 4th edition. Tim, 3rd edition was, okay,
I'm out of spells.
I'm out of spells. Or I can't use this spell because if I do, it's going to be gone.
Uh-huh.
We might need it later.
I'm going to have to shoot my crossbow. Oh, wait, I suck on my crossbow. Maybe I'll hit him with a rock. Oh, I got stabbed. I'm going to fall on the ground because the rat bit me and I'm dead.
We have to wait for Barrick to come over here and kill it.
I have a D4. Oh, well, actually, I have a D6 hit points because it was Arcane
Evolved.
So
yeah.
that's something better. But I still suck.
Yeah, honestly, I think the way they do the hit points for 4th Ed is nice, giving you a set amount every level rather than having the random thing. And honestly, that could have been done all the way back.
I like it, and I don't like that, but we can get into that later.
You can add a con modifier and just take care of it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is honestly, the way I do most of mine is that you counter roll against me anyways. But I may actually move to a whole thing where you get a set number of hit points. It may not be, the barbarians get a D12. You're not going to get 12 hit points.
No.
Well, I just know as a player from a shift change in that, I have more fun with 4th Ed. Also, like from a player from...
I'm not yet.
From what is the Silver Age Sentinels to
Silver Age Sentinels to
Masterminds.
That was a massive jump, much for the better.
From Deadlands.
But we didn't do a direct jump from that. As I ran one campaign that was Silver Age Sentinels, and then a while later I got Mutants and Masterminds, and when I ran Superheroes again, I used Mutants and Masterminds.
Because if you remember correctly, I played in one game of the Silver Age Sentinels, and I hated it.
Was that with the
I hide him in my bush.
Hid things in her bush. Yes,
I played.
That is still
not what you're thinking at all, our listeners. She had plant control.
Oh no, she didn't have plant control. She just hid things in her bush.
Yeah,
she was just very.
Yes, the funniest thing is she didn't get what that. She had her plant control. It's like I hide it in my bush, and she didn't
all
get.
All the males were dying.
Yeah, everyone was laughing at that. Me, Robin, everybody, and she didn't get it. So yeah,
maybe that means though that we're just all disgusting.
Yeah,
maybe
that's possible.
There's a reason why all of our actual play is explicit.
But
I swore to God, after playing in that Silver Age Sentinels game, I would never play another superhero game because I hated it so bad. And then you're like, well, I'm doing this Mutants and Masterminds. You have to play it with me. And I was like, nah.
And honestly, I mean, and me being the superhero guy, it's we had I had that I've done. Okay, I've done the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game, which is a great system to start off with, and I still think it's a solid, fun system. From that, I went to Champions, which was the only other sort of party on the block, and it was good for what it was.
If you were an accountant.
And then it got really, really complicated. Then Silver Age Sentinels came out, and I was like, hey, this is a lot better and a lot easier to do than...
Until you get into combat.
It was still easier in Champions.
Oh, yeah. Well, Champions, you had to measure wind speed, velocity, and crap.
You had to send up a weather balloon before you actually started gaming.
It was bad.
But Silver Age Sentinels was good. It did a good job at what it was. Right before that, I played in a homebrew superhero setting, which was okay. Homebrew superhero system. And then Mutants and Masterminds came out and just simplified everything. So.
And blew us away. Because I didn't want to play. The first time you offered to run a Mutants and Masterminds game, I didn't want to play. Didn't want to have anything to do with the superhero system after my last encounter. I was like, no.
And I've run into that with you a few times now.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't want to play Feng Shui either.
Well, no, I was curious about Feng Shui, but I was worried about playing because I was afraid I was going to screw up the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And once I actually played and realized, I can't ruin the game for everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine.
How could you screw up Feng Shui? In a randomness, I played a sex mage.
Dude, I
didn't screw it up.
I broke your second AD&D game twice.
Oh, it survived. It was all good.
It survived, but minus a couple players. If I can break second ed AD&D, my fear of breaking another system, which is a completely more simplified system, I was worried.
But you run into that if you want to switch over to a new system. You're going to run into people who are not really
enough.
Not people who are. Well, I like the old system of people going, well, I'm trepidatious about going to this system because of X.
And since I'd had such good luck with the other systems, actually getting into the other systems, like I said, I had serious concerns about 4th Ed D&D, and I was willing to try it. My concerns were founded, in my opinion, in my head, They're founded, and I don't care for the system. But like I said, when 4.5 comes out 5 years from now or 6 years from now,
ouch.
Yeah, when 4.5 comes out 5 or 6 years from now, I will try it again and see if my problems that I had with it are fixed. That's not going to stop me from playing other 4th Ed games. I am going to play in Dark Sun.
Well,
come hell or high water.
I think ultimately with things like that, it's
and I'm going to be playing Thunder Rift. I will learn to use the system.
The system aside is you will play in a game if it's good.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's Rifts. I don't think I could play in Rifts.
I don't know.
That's okay. None of the people around here actually run Rifts because they know it sucks.
I liked the idea of the setting for Rifts.
Oh yeah,
the
system blows.
The system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bad.
Rifts in Savage Worlds would probably not be too bad.
No. Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
Top notch, good stuff. And really, I mean, there was. Speaking of me, I mean, I was dead set against Savage Worlds because I was like, I love the old Deadland system. Blah, it was great, and
Savage Worlds.
And I heard a few things about it and looked at Savage Worlds and it's like, oh, set damage on blah 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 blah. I hate this. This is dumb. Blah blah blah. And I heard enough good stuff about it that I at Gen Con went out to the Pinnacle booth and grabbed a guy, shoved my press pass in his face, and said, "Okay, tell me about Savage Worlds and why it doesn't suck." And I ended up walking away with a copy of the Traveler's Edition and the Deadlands Reloaded book. And well, now we just finished up the 24th session of Deadlands.
Yeah,
so
I just got at the last CantCon. I got the Traveler's Edition of Savage Worlds, and we've been playing.
No, I think Pinnacle, top marks to Pinnacle, putting out a $10 version of version of their rule book.
Yeah,
that really helped sell me on it. Was like $10.
Really?
That's much easier for me to go drop $10 on that, and if I don't like it, it's only $10.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's not like $60 or $40 or whatever.
Like this one. Like
or
Pathfinder,
for case in points, it's like the Doctor Who RPG. It's like I don't have $60 to just throw away on that,
right?
And then say, oh wait, and I read it and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's $60 out the window.
Well, see, the thing is they did put up several chapters for previewing.
Yeah, well, they put up the first chapter, and I read it, and it doesn't really help you at all
because it doesn't tell you anything about the game mechanics, does it?
Exactly.
Well, I wonder.
Well, it tells you a little about the game mechanics, but it doesn't tell you really anything else.
I wonder if we could actually talk to them about sending us a copy for the rule mechanics.
I have tried to talk to them, so I'm going to actually see if I can get into a Doctor Who game at Gen Con. So
I wish you the best of luck with that.
But anyway, I think this, moving from transitioning a game, sort of convincing your players to try something new. I never had a big issue with it because my group was always, I always sort of made it a thing in my group to try new things because we weren't, I didn't play D&D until 3rd Ed came out, and I'd been gaming for 10 years at that point. And so, before that, we were jumping around from one system to another. We were always trying new stuff, So because when I got into it, D&D was TSR, and TSR was as bad as Activision is now. But we'll get into that later. But this the whole concept of it was variety is the spice of life. In my opinion, was I like different things, and superheroes are cool, but I also like space opera, and there's some games out there I'd love to try again, or just try in general. I never got to try. I played a game of Traveler, didn't really care for it too much.
I'm always been curious about Traveler. I've never had a chance to play.
The game I'd love to try out at some point is Star Frontiers.
My problem is
I really would like to try a game of Alpha Omega as well.
I can't do so many.
So would I. I'm terrified to run that though.
Yeah,
I
just
can't do so many systems. I get to the point where I only want one or two.
Mm-hmm.
The problem.
We definitely go back to our favorites. I mean, I could pretty much run Feng Shui at the drop of the hat, meet some masterminds, D&D, 3rd Ed or 4th Ed.
I could run Call of Cthulhu. I can run D&D, and I can run crap. I could run a system that's so esoteric that people couldn't.
The ability to run it is different than the
will to.
The will, because I can run pretty much anything if I really want to, but I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to go out and buy a bunch of settings are fine.
Yeah. That's not a system change generally.
Right. That's why I like a system that I can put into whatever system I want, which is one thing I'm running into with 4E is there's no modern, there's no sci-fi-ish for that. And for the D20, there was.
Well, you also have to remember the system is how old now?
I know. And
how long did it take? Do you think they've had the open gaming license since 3rd ed all the way through 3.5? They had enough time to build up those systems, and they're just not here yet.
I take that into account. But
it's a different market now than it was 10 years ago.
I want everything now, just like anybody else.
It's a different industry now than it was 10 years ago.
Screw patience. I want it now.
I understand that, and I'm not going to belittle that position. That was Boris jumping out of the cat tree. I'm not going to belittle that position, but the thing is it comes down to the fact the reason why there isn't one out yet is the system is still fairly new. It'll be a year old this coming. Fourth ed?
It's actually over a year old now.
It'll be 2 years old this coming.
2 years old this May.
I'm actually concerned about.
But they are putting out. Okay, there is one that I know of that uses the fourth edition system that's not D&D. Goodman Games put it out. Oh God, I can't bloody well remember it now. So I'm going to the Goodman Games website and trying to fill air while I go there to figure it out. But let's see.
One of the interesting things I've noticed, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but I don't see as many open game license types. I can't remember the actual name of the license for 4th ed. It's different. It's
the GSL.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen as many GSL games as we saw with the OGL license. I mean,
there are.
When the open gaming license came out, I mean, it was like an inundated flood of different titles, but we haven't seen that with the GSL. Is the system that much more strict in what you can do with the GSL? I remember there were some serious changes between the open gaming license and the GSL.
There are, but what I've been noticing are classes, like lots of different classes, or settings with different classes.
Well, honestly, for the classes, they could have just simplified it down to striker, defender, leader, controller, and stuff like that, and been done with it.
What I'm seeing is a lot of RPG now. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that is maybe not fan made, but these little companies where they decided not to go the route that a lot of the D20 ones went, where they had all this extra crap. Instead, they're doing it with PDFs.
Here's some new character types for you.
Well, the PDF market is really
and I think
which is funny that Wizards of the Coast is.
I think they will make money. These little companies.
They haven't been quote unquote releasing PDFs for a year now, except they're releasing PDFs through their D&D Insider like mad.
But I mean, I think I think it's a better business practice actually, because if Wizards decides, well, your thing isn't fitting with the GSL,
spirit of 4th edition,
we're going to yank it. They're like, okay, so instead of
losing millions of dollars on books sitting on a shelf,
it's definitely much more of a slippery slope, and it definitely discourages some companies from going for it.
That's right, because
I think is a good thing.
Because with the GSL license, if they deem that your product is
you can pull it at any time.
Yeah.
Now,
which I think is why we don't see as many.
I have started to see a lot more game or ruleless stuff.
Yes, which I think is great.
That works just
systemless stuff.
That
comes out as nice.
And I would love to see more of that. But actually, I'm kind of concerned about what WotC will do for other settings, like a modern, a future in 4E.
What they're releasing is they're releasing Gamma World later this year using the 4th edition system. It's not D&D, but it's using the 4th ed system.
That might be amusing.
Well, Gamma World used the D&D system, didn't it?
Yeah, way back when.
Yeah, so it's not that big of a jump. I'm curious to see how that is, because when the old Gamma World, like 2nd edition Gamma World, I'm talking back from the early 90s, I really liked that.
Well,
it was interesting.
It was interesting. And I may be able to. I might like that, but I'm just kind of concerned.
I like the whole fact that you could
Goodman
be like
Games has a setting, has a 4th ed system game out, but I can't remember what it's called, and I can't find it on their website.
It's just a lot easier in D20. It was a lot easier if somebody wanted to randomly play a Space Marine to take those rules and put them into this without.
Right
now. On the other side of things,
you wanted to have your lightsaber in 3rd edition. You could.
Now it could just be flavor, though.
Granted, it's
and that's something else I kind of thought of. You could really just have a archer and just modify him.
Yeah.
And just modify the look. So
And instead of firing arrows, he's firing guns.
Right.
The
spinning.
That means we need to wrap it up.
Means we're wrapping.
No,
we need to wrap up the
that's
discussion
what the
at this
music's
point.
for.
Okay. Oh, da 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 da. Okay.
You're telling me I need to get off the stage now.
Yes, we're gonna wrap that up. If you guys want to hear us talk about it some more, hit our forums at gamershavenpodcast.com/forums.
They have Savage Worlds Earth Dawn.
That is freaking cool.
Well, they have Savage Worlds pretty much everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this in Random Encounters. Okay, we'll be back.
The Gamers Haven podcast proudly presents the companion game to Deadlands Reloaded, Enough Room to Die. Just who is the Lazarus Group, and what is their interest in this notorious band of outlaws that's crisscrossing the West? Follow them as they unlock the secrets to a plot worse than they could ever imagine. Deadlands. Hell hath no fury. Available for download at www.gamershavenpodcast.com.
And we are back, and today on the lovely three-parter, we've got Nathan's got a review for us. Jeremy's going to rave about something, and I'm a bug. So we'll go ahead and kick it off here momentarily with Nathan's review.
The review.
Multi-billion-dollar industry.
I would load
so much money.
Ever would in the history of time. Okay. Well, today I'm actually reviewing a book that I just recently got. I picked it up with the minuscule amount of tax return we got thanks to the laws allowing on inheritances. Screw you, IRS. I picked up Pathfinder, and then I handed it off to Ethan to have him read through it and give me his opinions on it. Pretty much, if you've played 3.5 D&D, you know what you're getting into. It's not 3.75.
More like 3.6.
Yeah, it does not change the system so much as to really warrant a quarter of a point. It is the natural evolution, I would say, the little additions and stuff. But honestly, it doesn't really seem like that much of a different system. The combat maneuver bonuses and combat maneuver defense, that's the major addition to the system. And
they really tried to streamline a few things, like mainly, the whole grappling type of combat.
Yeah, which are combat maneuvers.
But I think ultimately that's just sort of a fruitless
endeavor
to try.
Well, the thing is because we always sit there whenever it comes. We all have to break out the rule books to figure it out.
You're still going to want to look up the rule for it.
Or you're just like,
I want to grapple. Oh, God.
Just roll the D20.
And I got to say, even in 4th edition, I still got to look up the rule for it. It's like, okay.
Grappling is one of those things that's just, it's like, I know it's a combat maneuver, and I know it's something that's not commonly done, but the rules are different from what you expect for every other type of combat thing, so you have to go, okay. I'm going to put a tab in this book for the grappling system, for the grappling rules, because
that's what we can do. Next time there's a grappling in a game, we'll pull out the freaking wrestling card.
Hey,
yeah,
raw deal. Down.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I get to be Benoit. No, wait, I don't want to kill my family.
That was
bad. I know.
Ethan shall be.
That's Ethan at gamershavenpodcast.com. Yeah.
But the system is well, it's 3.5. It's got its own setting. The Pathfinder setting is kind of interesting. I will admit the world is kind of cool.
It's
I
dark.
like. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a dark fantasy setting.
The art's beautiful.
Yeah. That I give them major props.
Yeah.
The layout of the book is incredible. When they do the chapters for the new chapters, they come out with a 2-page spread like painting, and it's beautiful. The paintings are all different.
The art is beautiful.
Their
artwork
totally
does
totally blow.
It blows Fourth Ed out of the
water. I do agree with that.
I mean, they got Wayne Allen Reynolds doing their art.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well, I've seen the monster manual that they have, or monster
the bestiary.
Yeah, the bestiary.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Pathfinder stuff is gorgeous.
Don't get me
wrong.
I like the way they do the text.
It's a solid system, but like I was telling Nathan, it's built on a good bedrock already. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. The main thing about Pathfinder is Pathfinder's built on 3.5. 3.5 in itself is a very stable system, so you can't really go wrong.
It's not without its flaws, but no game system out there is perfect.
Again, I have problems with the spell system. I don't like the way spells are done in 3.5. I never have, but I don't like the way the spells are done in 4th Ed
They took a step in
either.
the right direction with the cantrips and the horizons and whatnot. Is from what I gathered, from what I looking at it, is you still have to prepare them or memorize them. It's just when you cast them, it doesn't use them up.
No, it doesn't use them. You just
continuously
use them.
So it's like you can't continuously. You don't have all the 0-level spells, but you say I've memorized these 4 or 5, whatever, but I can cast them as many times as I want.
I do like what they did to the monk. Has been greatly reduced in their
that's good. Yes,
their newness. What they do is they use key.
They sort of leveled him down a little bit, sort of evened him out, and they took everyone else and sort of bumped them up a little bit. So.
The mages are much more powerful than they were in 4th Ed.
They made a few. Mainly, most of their changes were class wise. They made a lot of changes to. Just sort of class advancement and whatnot. So
yeah, they basically they made it a little bit.
It's still a crunchy system. So,
it's based on 3.5.
It's going to be crunchy. So.
But the monk uses key to use a lot of his abilities, and once he's out of key, he just strikes like normal, which is nice because it's not like, and I get to do this thing, and I get to do this thing, and I've done 245 points of damage.
Yeah.
You're level 3.
Yes.
There's awesome.
There's a lot more. There is a lot of customization options.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the base classes alone. And I think that's a good thing because they sort of there are prestige classes, but I think the customization options in the base classes give you a bit more to work with as far as early level characters and whatnot. And it also gives you the option of saying, well, I don't want to go in a prestige class. So
yeah, as a whole, it's an advancement. I would say I'd say more of an evolution rather than a revolution of 3.5.
I like it better than 3.5.
I honestly at this point I don't have.
It's not worth $50 for me to go out and get it.
Well, the main thing I see with that is what they did was with the Pathfinder role playing game book. The rule book you buy, the core rule book, is the player's handbook and the DMG guide.
Right.
Honestly, I think if they want to get more players to play, what they need is they have the player's core rule book and the game master's core rule book. Separate the price and sell them separately at $34 a piece. And that way, players like you who don't need the Game Master's rulebook or don't need the core rulebook or whatnot, you can buy the book you need rather than spending $50 and getting half of a book that you're never going to use.
Right.
Other than that, I highly recommend Pathfinder. I recommend you at least try it. If you love 3.5, you'll like Pathfinder. The setting is good. If you actually play in the actual setting, you'll have a great time. They went a little bit closer to 4th Ed in the way that the races are. All races have 2 bonus. All races except for half-elves and humans and half-orcs, I think, have 2 bonus stats and 1 negative stat. That's one thing I'm going to change. I'm going to remove the negative stat. I like the whole idea of 4th Ed where
one thing I really,
the races are...
I really like that Paizo has done is obviously the hardcover, you go out and buy the book, it's $50. But you can just go buy the PDF for $10.
Yeah, so
which is really nice.
Yeah, if you're curious about the system...
If you have someone like Nathan who's going to run it, I'm much more inclined to run out just buy the PDF because I wouldn't buy the hardcover for $50. It's just not going to happen.
Well,
but I would spend $10 on the PDF because I don't need the whole bloody book, and $10 is much better a price for me for something like that. So
yeah, I agree. But I highly recommend people at least try it if they like 3.5. If you're having problems with 4th Ed or you don't like 4th Ed like me, and there are a lot of people out there like me, check out Pathfinder. It might be the way moving forward. That being said, yes, it is an expensive book, but you get everything to run the game as either a player or
honestly,
a GM.
With the size of the book at $50 is not a bad price.
Yeah,
it's a full-color hardcover book that's how many pages?
500 and something? 569 pages.
It's 569 pages, and it's $50. That's a good price, quite honestly. $10 for the PDF is a great price. And you can get the PDF at Paizo.com, so...
Yeah, the book
it's
is
not at RPG Now. RPG Now doesn't carry Paizo stuff, as far as I.
That's too bad. So. Maybe they should.
Well, it's because Paizo has its own store on its site. So
yeah, but yeah, I recommend it. Ethan says
I mean, I'll play it. I'm fine with that, but I'll play like I've said, I'll play a game if it's good. So it is a solid system, and if I were running Third Ed, I would be running Pathfinder probably. So
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion, and it's again to each their own. I think it's a solid system, but it's built on a solid system already.
Yeah.
So
they just basically what they did was they expanded the base of Solidity to it. I mean, it takes the rules that were kind of that you kind of had a little bit of a niggling with, and they smoothed it out. But aside from that, I mean, it's really not that much different. But the setting is vastly different from the 3.5 setting. I mean, this setting is much darker. But I like dark. I play Call of Cthulhu. I run Call of Cthulhu. I like dark. Some players aren't going to like that, but I do. But I recommend you check it out. Like Ethan said, you can get the PDF for $10. If you like the PDF and like the way the game system runs, I would recommend going out and supporting the company and buying an actual book when you have the money.
Go buy it from your friendly local game store if you want to buy the book.
Like Tabletop Game and Hobby.
Hobby in Overland Park, Kansas.
Yep. So my recommendation is I give it 2 thumbs up. It's well done. Well written, too. I have to admit, the writing in it's very well done, too. Which, in some of the game systems I've encountered, that hasn't been the case. But I didn't know this writer. I had never heard of this writer before. But, what's his name? Pretty much it was actually tons of writers who actually wrote this.
I'm sure.
But I haven't heard of any of them. I mean, none of the names that I know did any of the writing. But it looks like Jason Bullman was the lead designer. Monty Cook has the forward in here too.
Monty Cook's a consultant on the Pathfinder stuff.
But this is what I was talking about, Jeremy, with the 2-page paintings. I mean, they're really good.
Their artwork is great.
Check it out. If you don't like it and you only buy the PDF, you're only out $10. If you like it, go out and buy a copy of the book to set on your shelf.
To be honest, I think as fans of D&D, we're living in a great time where you have 2 different choices as far as
which way you want to run,
which way you want to go with a D&D game, and they're both good. So, quite frankly, I think we're in a win-win situation as far as getting D&D.
It's like I don't like it's not like before where if I didn't like third ed of D&D, I was screwed because that was it.
You were stuck with what, second ed? I mean, who the hell wanted to play second ed?
No one wanted to play second ed, so you were stuck. So you either played a system you hated or you didn't play. Like now, I won't say that I hate fourth ed. I don't hate fourth ed. I think fourth ed is
it's just not the system for you. That's fine.
I think fourth ed is a very unique system and works good at what it does. I don't care for it. I have options to play other things. I would rather play other options.
That's fine.
But
I'm just saying as a fan of D&D, I think it's great we have those options.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. And since I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? Pigeonholed into a specific system.
Exactly.
I will play what I want.
So, Pathfinder core rulebook, Paizo Publishing, $49.99, $10 in PDF. So, there you go.
Once my perfect world was gone, I knew you ruined everything in the nicest way.
The Rave.
All right, so I'm going to rave as well as review 2 websites, one of which knows about, but maybe doesn't know about how useful it's for gaming. But I'm going to start with the site that maybe isn't as well known. And I'm also going to start with something from this website, and it's a postcard pack. You can buy it from this site, which I'll talk about in a second. And it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And it shows the earth, an African god, puking on the earth. Because the god that created heavens and earth is Bumba, the African god of vomit. Now, I didn't know there was an African god of vomit.
You learn something every day.
Right. I'm not any smarter for knowing there's an African god of vomit. But this site that has the African god of vomit is awesome. It's called godchecker.com.
That is pretty cool.
And godchecker.com.
And you'll find a link to this on our site in the show notes for this episode. So.
It's also in Jeremy's blog too.
Yep.
Right. Well, I just had to put it in there because godchecker.com
it's awesome.
.com takes it presents gods from all over the world, and it gives their brief overview in a semi-amusing, yet you can tell they did their research on a lot of this stuff. Now, this site, you have to take it for what it is. I mean, like I said, whoever's writing this site has a sense of humor.
Has a definite sense of humor. Yes.
But for a game, if you need real world gods, this is great. You'll basically click on what type of gods in like Chinese. I just clicked on Chinese, and it says the A through Z of Chinese gods, 154 gods plus 316 alternate names. So I'm going to click on B and just randomly go to Baja. I don't know who the hell Baja is, but I bet I can find out. So Baja is... This dear old Mongolian general with a splendid record was rewarded in extreme old age with the job of Celestial Scarecrow. Now, each of the gods have something called a vital statistics. Basically, the area or people that worship them, the location, their gender, their category, how to pronounce it, alternate names, attributes. This one happens to have a mystic number. Some of them have alignments. It's pretty funny. But for a game itself, if you need a real-world god, or maybe you just like to know amusing things, not to mention if somebody's just droning on about something either like politics that you don't want to talk about or whatever, just throw out a random comment about, Bamba, the African god of puke. That will just modify the conversation from here on out.
Yeah, I just randomly clicked on the Aztec gods, and the first one that popped up, the name is so unpronounceable.
Right.
It actually says at the bottom, pronunciation, coming soon.
Right.
To give you an idea, it's spelled Tecuztecatl. It was the god of the moon, but started off as the lowly god of snails and worms.
Plateau.
So it's like Tecuztecatl.
The great thing, if you're playing like any modern Earth game,
or this is great for
great.
just for inspiration here and there. I mean, they've got the Australian Aborigine gods,
right.
Celtic gods, Caribbeans.
Even just for like school, let's say you're
South American.
You're studying different deities,
Tibetan.
And you just needed some ideas.
It's a very cool site.
It is. Now, the next site I want to discuss is, and everybody's going to know this site, Wikipedia.
Oh boy.
The reason I'm bringing up Wikipedia is because for gaming, it's awesome. I've discovered so many things on Wikipedia. There are list upon list of deities. If you need a deity or you need inspiration, go to Wikipedia. Just put in Dungeons and Dragon deities. You'll get a list. It goes from core deities, demi-human deities, monster deities, non-deity powers. It goes into Vestiges, the Lady of Pain, 4th edition deities, and on and on. It even has its own Greyhawk deities. Not to mention, it also lists individual stuff about gnomes, elves, whatever the hell you want. And Wikipedia just... It for a gaming... Now, you got to keep in mind that the information on here is not specifically game. Like, it's nothing that is copyrighted, obviously. But it gives you really all you need. Like, if I go to one of their listings is additional deities, it just has, like, Cass, the demigod of spite. He was in Heroes of Horror.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't break it down by everything because, well, there's a copyright. But it at least gives you some of the information about them. Just very simple. Some of these have links even, like Beltar, the lesser goddess of malice, caves, and pits, from Complete Divine. So if I clicked on him, as we all know, Wikipedia has so many links, it tells you what it is. Beltar is the sole goddess of malice, caves, and pits. Her holy symbol is a set of open fangs posed to bite. So, okay. And then it goes on and on and on about different things. The great thing about this is if you're creating a game and you need to put some gods in there, but maybe you don't want just the generic gods, whether it's 3.5, Pathfinder, 4th Ed, Savage, or whatever, this will give you some ideas. To add on to this, I found the Wikipedia GURPS. So, and you can just go on and on. I think as a tool to assist in gaming, both those sites for the deities as well as Wikipedia is just for random information, is a great gaming tool. So, yeah.
I'm looking at the God
checker.
Yeah, and they have a shirt.
Yes.
They have many shirts.
No, they have a shirt specifically for Bumbo, the god of vomit, the African god of vomit.
Nice.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to spend the money and buy it, because that would actually be pretty cool.
The Shameless Plug.
Well, as usual, or really, I guess I'm the only one who ever does the shameless plug segment. I have a shameless plug. I have a confession to make to you guys. I've been two-timing you entirely.
Wow.
My old friend of mine, actually two old friends of mine, Aaron and Shay, out in Lawrence, have started up their own vidcast, and they were nice enough to let me come out there and crash their party last Wednesday, and I think I'll be doing that on a fairly regular basis until they, change their address and, send guys after me or something. But they have started up a show called The Red Phone Zone, and it's at redphonezone.com, and the website should be up by now. But it's a vidcast. They try to broadcast it on Ustream on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you guys want to see what one of the hosts of the Gamers Haven looks like, you can tune into there and might be able to see me. Episode 2 is up. I came and joined them for episode 2, where we talked basically the whole show is we talk about movies, comics, games, that sort of thing, shoot the breeze and talk about whatever the heck comes up. But we talk about, in that one, we do a casting couch where all three of us sort of independently decided to cast if they did a Final Fantasy VII movie. And then from there, we went on to talk about the Watchmen movie and comic book. And then in between there, Shay, who is much more of a gamer than Aaron is nowadays, decided to tackle what if you had Sherlock Holmes in like a Dungeons and Dragons type of setting. So I had a lot of fun. It was really nice to talk to Aaron. I hadn't seen him in about 5 years, and I hadn't seen Shay in about 7 years. So it's good to see those guys. And but that's redphonezone.com. You'll find a link to it in our show notes. It's a really entertaining show. Definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I haven't seen Aaron in probably about the same amount of time. I haven't seen Shay since high school.
Mm-hmm.
Shay Rinke, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since high school. I remember when his lung collapsed and he was out of school for weeks because they had him on a ventilator putting his lung back together.
Fun stuff. Yes, I hadn't seen these guys in forever. It was great to actually go out there and see them again. So and sort of slipping into old times with Aaron, as he and I used to sit around and talk that type of thing back in the day. So
yeah, I'm not sure either one of them will remember me, but tell them I said hello the next time you see them.
I will. But go to redphonezone.com and check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
In conclusion, I would like to point out that it's time for a revolutionary new look in primetime and variety podcasting, and the combination of Aaron and Shay can bring this to the world. Yes, for over 20 years, Shay here and the dedicated group of people that make up the Red Phone Zone have been developing the art of internet entertainment to heights were never before considered possible. And at the same time, Aaron here has been developing and creating ardent opinions of movies, comic books, and all things geek-related. From the same creative minds that brought you Giant Ketchup, The Ippy Shay Show, and Super Nerd Night, these two giants of the industry have fused their creative juices into one great explosion of brilliant internet programming. And what is this fusion of creative juices called? The Red Phone Zone, a show that will be loved and adored by every Alexa home in the country. Small children will love the cute, cuddly characters. Young people love the fresh and innovative comedy. College kids, intellectual eggheads will love the underlying symbolism of everything. Freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical nerds will love that we are freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical nerds, because that is what show business is all about. Yes, and when the show hits, the careers of the men who made it possible to put the show on the air will skyrocket. People like John Hamm, Brad Hunstable, and even Dr. Gay Thayer will become stars in their own right. The names of these men will become household words like stove, sink, toilet, no, like patriotism, apple pie, and mother. Friends, the United States of America, no, the world needs a Red Phone Zone, and you should download this show. Now, we're not pulling punches here. I mean, there's nothing subtle about this pitch. So download this show and put it on your MP3 player, because we'll all be famous. The Red Phone Zone will be famous, and Ustream will be famous, because we'll all have a hit show in our hands, and we'll get all temperamental and hard to work with, but you won't care, because we'll all make a lot of money, and Aaron and Shay will be happy, and you'll be happy, and the Red Phone Girl will be happy, and God will look down on us and smile on us, and he will say, let them have a 40 share!
Aaron, why don't you just say Red Phone Zone, 8 p.m. Central at redphonezone.com.
Random Encounters.
And we are back, and we have some lovely random encounters today. We, in fact, have quite a few, because we're going to talk a little bit about our wonderful blossoming forums. I'm really happy with how the forums
We've
are
got
going.
26
users, including ourselves. But when we last recorded, we only had about 12 or 13.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks' time,
we've doubled. I'm really happy with how the forums are going. I'm really happy that people are posting on it, and we seem to be getting some cool people on there, honestly. So,
yeah, I agree.
Just to do a quick look at it, we have, let's see, as of recording right now, we have 26 members on the forums. The new members we've got, by last time, the newest member, actually, when we started this back up, when we recorded last time, we had 9 members. The most recent one was Nick, who had signed up. But now we've got D-Man Ward, Tunnel X-Rat, Rainford, Rolling 20s. Hi, Rolling 20s, we love you.
Yeah, Rosaliz 000.
Rosaliz 000. Wonder who that is. Oh, could that be Becca? No.
Never,
no. We've got Peter. We've got D. Gibb, Crashy, and now D. Gibb is not to be confused with Chef Gibbs. I'm still seeing Gibbs from NCIS in a chef's hat, but that's just me. Crashy, the color orange, and that's the proper British spelling. Tathel, Eiklos, Broken World, Dornak, Dragon Lord Havoc, Galashi 1. Hi, Galashi.
Hey, Galashi.
And F Cool. And with the newest member who signed up today was John H. So, hello to all of our new forum members. We are so happy to have you as part of the Gamers Haven.
Yes, come to our forums and post the living crap out of your thoughts and opinions.
Yes. You know, we won't bite hard, but we have a lot of cool stuff going on in the forums. Talking campaign stuff, D&D, Savage Worlds, Call of Cthulhu, all that stuff. So, really some really cool stuff going on the forums. Definitely check it out.
They have Thunderbirds
for Savage Worlds.
Jeremy is just enamored right now with Savage Worlds Spelljammer.
That was like a very obscure cartoon from the 80s, wasn't
it? They have
anyway,
from it.
Oh
we're going to go on to our emails, and we have a voicemail again. So this time it's not 5 minutes long. In fact, I think this time it's actually relatively short, and I think it might have got cut off. But hey, we got an email from Jeffrey. Now, Jeffrey sent us an email that is entitled Nathan's Bitching. So.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't been keeping up, listen to the latest Fall the Keep of the Shadowfell.
Keep on the Shadowfell Redux,
and you'll see what he's talking about.
Yes, I believe.
And I can explain what's going on after he finishes reading the email out to you all.
Yes, basically the episode he is talking about, as far as the Keep on the Shadowfell, I believe, was episode 5, which I titled "Bring Out the Gimp."
Bring out the Gimp.
Bring out the Gimp. Yes.
You don't get to name anything ever again.
Well, since I have control of the website, I can name it whatever the hell I want.
All we have to say is
that's why this is the Gamers Haven, hosted by Ethan, Nathan, and Fuzzy McSnugglebottom.
Listen to the actual Keep of the Shadowfell, and you'll see why it's called Bring Out the Gimp.
Ethan with this pen.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
But if you listen to the podcast, you'll see why it's called Bring Out the Gimp. We were all so gimped in that game, we could not roll above a 2.
Smurf.
You not mark that. It was bad. We couldn't roll to hit anything, and Ethan was on fire. I think Ethan missed maybe a total of 15 times in the whole 6-hour session.
I was doing my best to kill all of you.
Yeah, well, your dice were doing their best to kill all of this. I know you fudged your dice on 4 or 5 occasions. I know you did.
I generally, we'll see. Anyway, we get an email from Jeffrey about Nathan's bitching.
Yeah.
So Nathan,
yes,
sit back and
I'm
just listen. All right. So after spending 4 hours listening to Nathan bitching about how he couldn't hit and 4th edition wasn't balanced and yada 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 on the last episode of Keep on the Shadowfell, I had to write in. Dude, that is so painful to listen to. It's one thing not to enjoy the game you're playing. It's another thing to very loudly not enjoy the game you're playing, especially when everyone else at the table seems to be laughing and joking and generally rolling with the punches. I suppose the reason I object so much is it reminds me painfully of this one player I used to have in my home game. This was a full-grown man who would throw dice across the room and complain loudly that the game sucked if he didn't hit, or if he got hit, or if 30 minutes went by without him having a turn. He must have been playing Champions.
Yeah.
Or Rifts. Probably Rifts.
Any play
while everyone else at the table did their best to look the other way and ignore him. Now, I don't think Nathan is nearly as bad as this guy was.
I'm working on it, damn it.
He is working on it. He should really just chill. Now, I don't know what class Nathan is playing. Fighter, I think. He's actually playing a warden.
I'm playing an Earth Warden, to be
but
exact.
But +4 to hit versus AC at second level seems woefully low. Is he adding his weapon proficiency bonus? Yes. At second level, a character using a weapon should have somewhere between +6 and +8 to hit versus AC, give or take. That's assuming you have at least 16 in your primary stat, probably strength if you're a fighter.
Actually, my primary stat is actually Constitution and Wisdom.
Yes, I think you put it in Con, which is fine.
Well, no, the rules for the Warden class state that your main stats are Wisdom and Constitution, which is where, if you look, my Wisdom is a 19 and my Constitution is a 20. The problem is those aren't the stats they use to factor in how you hit. That's strength, and I didn't put a high stat.
If you max out your primary stat and get a magic weapon, it can go even higher. If your attacks target reflex, defense, or will, expect them to be about 2 or 3 pluses lower, because it probably means you're using an implement rather than a weapon. As for 4th edition being like an MMO, Wizards of the Coast has openly stated that they borrowed heavily from MMOs and other video game design for 4th edition. This is because video games are fun. Unfortunately...
He hasn't been playing some of the video games I have.
No, I have to agree. Video games are fun.
Video games are fun.
Yeah, but they're fun on the TV screen.
I gotta say, it depends on the video game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately... Activision. Unfortunately, this does mean that the combats tend to be more tactical than cinematic, which means that in a fight you have to do what's tactically smart rather than what feels cool. If that's a game breaker for you, then you're just not going to like 4th edition. There are things that DMs and sometimes players can do to make the fights feel more cinematic and less crunchy, like offering interesting terrain features to play with, knowing when to ditch the rules in favor of story, etc. Also, Keep on the Shadowfell and all adventures in that series are basically dungeon crawls. That is true.
Which means they're infinitely harder than a standard
so it's understandable that it's going to feel like an MMO right down to the guys with yellow exclamation marks above their heads. Yes, it does. Keep on the Shadowfell is the exciting story of a group of heroes who open doors and move down 10-foot wide hallways in search of the next fight. This is simply the nature of the beast. If you want more story in 4th edition, you're going to have to bring it in yourself. WotC just isn't good at writing story-driven adventures. I completely agree.
No.
Although, admittedly, I haven't checked out most of what's done in Dungeon Magazine. No, still the same. I've often thought that if Paizo folks would write 4th edition adventures, I've had the ultimate... Let me start over on that one. I've often thought that if the Paizo folks would write 4th edition adventures, I'd have the ultimate marriage of crunch and fluff, but that's not going to ever happen. Thank you for letting me share my thoughts, and I really do enjoy listening to your actual play sessions. By the way, is there a water fountain or a large fan next to your microphone? There's this background noise I can't identify sometimes.
No, you're just crazy.
No.
Oh, it might be your laptop.
No, it's not. It wasn't the laptop.
Sometimes it is.
Well, but what he was picking up was because I hadn't topped off the aquarium.
Yes,
open.
That is true.
To give you an idea of the environment, we sit at the table in the dining area, and about 15 feet away is a 28-gallon bow-front aquarium that is an open-top aquarium. It is a planted aquarium. It doesn't really have any fish in it. Problem is because it is an open-top aquarium with 235 watts of light on it, beaming down from like a foot away. I evaporate approximately a half a gallon of water a day. So if I don't top it off, and because of the situation that was going on outside the game, I had not topped off the aquarium. You were hearing the waterfall effect of the pump. Okay, to give you a little bit of a background.
Right. I'm going to let Nathan respond to this. I'm going to put in the caveat here that Jeffrey, we love you. Thank you for listening.
Can I throw something in real quick?
Yeah, sure, go right ahead.
Okay, so if your main stat isn't strength,
all your combat stats are still based off of strength.
No.
Well, no.
There's a feat that allows you to modify it. Like my wizard uses his intelligence.
Yes.
So you could modify yours to something else.
Yes. I did not see that feat when I made my character.
Yeah, but when you level up.
Well, yeah. The next time I get a feat, that'll be the first thing I do. I'll move it to Constitution because I have a +5 with Con and a +2 with Strength.
Yeah, just move it over.
Okay. I am playing the Warden. The main stats for the Warden that it says is your Constitution and your Wisdom. Most of the special abilities that I have take things like you add my Wisdom and my Constitution plus whatever to get a number. The problem is all my attacks are based off of Strength.
Right.
Which I didn't put my high stat in. If I'd known when I made the character that it was going to be
to your defense, you also when you built the character, you didn't know the system very well.
Well, I built it to what it said what my strengths would be, and that failed me. If I'd known that they really what it should have been was the primary stats should be, as I've noticed, should be Constitution and Strength. But that's neither here nor there. I can't change that. My character's not going to hit very well. All I'm supposed to do, I am the defender. I'm supposed to stand there and get in the way of all the monsters, make sure they all attack me, and beat me into a bloody pulp, which is fine.
Or try.
To beat
you, really.
Yeah. I'm supposed to have
an AC of like 22.
I have an AC of 20. When I do my stone, I do a stone defense attack. It goes to a 21, and when the commander buffs me, it goes up to like a 26 with his +5 or whatever that is. But no, that's not it. Okay, there were extenuating circumstances to the last game. Okay, that Friday before, I had injured my back, and at that point, from what the doctors and everyone was saying, they thought I might be suffering from genetic kidney failure. My sister, my youngest sister, she will be turning 21 this year, has had both of her kidneys replaced because of this. I was under a serious amount of stress due to that, and so I was not, first of all, I was not in the right mind to be gaming anyways. I shouldn't have been gaming that night. I should have just bowed out of the game and let someone else do it because I was stressed to the gills, and then on top of that, I was sick as a dog, and so I wasn't feeling well. And when I'm not feeling well, I'm unhappy anyways. Any minor thing adds to that.
You are grumpy when you're sick.
All hell breaks loose. And so I
was bad.
No, dude.
No. Nathan's grumpy.
Let's put it this
Jeremy,
way.
you're just annoyed.
When I was in
Nathan,
a bad mood,
grumpy.
When I was in a bad mood once, I was at a grocery store, and a lady made some offhanded comment to me, and I turned around and snapped at her so hard she actually burst into tears. I know, awesome. I know
Cry,
I can be.
Woman.
No, it's actually what I said to her, but
verbal abuse.
I know for a fact that when I'm not feeling well, I'm not exactly pleasant to be around, and I apologize for that for everybody else. The thing is that I was having a bad time, exacerbated by the fact that I wasn't feeling well, and I was stressed out to the gills. And on top of that, I have some problems with the 4th ed system, which I have posted and ad nauseum. And the thing is they are my personal feelings about the system. A lot of the other people that we game with are not comfortable with the 4th ed system or dislike parts of it. And a lot of their parts were things I never thought of, like the fact that the cleric that the base cleric that you start off with, which is the battle cleric, which of course wasn't emphasized to Michael either. Right. That there were different variants, was that you have to hit things to heal people, and it's like, but the cleric is the person who goes heal.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, you have to get away from that.
Yeah. Everything is so different.
There's definitely
there's definitely
a disconnect. You have to sort of transition over.
I made a cleric too, and it really sucked.
Yeah,
but clerics don't have to.
Yeah, the bacon of hope is nice.
Bacon.
But yes, I was in a bad mood. I'm hoping that this next game. I've been through 2 weeks of tests now.
We have discussed it, and we are seeing it through to the end. So it is going. We're not going to end it. It's going to go. So.
As I told Ethan, and he might smurf this out. I'm going to make it to the last guy. I'm going to beat him into the ground, and then I'm going to teabag the ever-loving crap out of his face.
Teabagged Calorel.
These dwarven nuts on your face. It's just
whose nuts? Dwarven nuts.
But no, hopefully this next game will go fine. I understand the way the system works now. The monsters are going to hit a lot, not just because Ethan rolls like an ungodly fiend, but because the monsters do, on average, with our group, because we're all new players, the monsters on average, based against us, usually have anywhere from 3 to 4 points higher on their attacks to hit. And because we didn't know the system well. The only person in the group that actually has a high armor class.
As long as you guys have Clark with you, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, as long as we have Clark with us, we'll be safe.
Who's Clark?
The bullywug.
And just so you guys know, I may pick on Clark a lot in game.
Clark is awesome,
and may be absolutely ruthless to him in game. I actually do like Clark. Yeah. The Dragonborn took one of the bullywugs and turned him into a minion.
I knew that, but has he gone beyond minion?
Yeah. He's getting the template next time. So,
He's got 2 healing surges now. He does more damage than I do, okay? And I'm the person that's supposed to get all the monsters' attentions and do damage.
Did you get my god thing about bullywugs?
Yes,
they're just not right.
Isn't that
anyway?
Hilarious?
Thank you, Jeffrey, for emailing us.
There were a lot of extenuating circumstances which weren't discussed.
I will confess, there are times I want to, strangle Nathan with his own entrails. But Nathan wouldn't be my friend if I didn't like him. So obviously,
strangle him?
No.
There's that.
But
so I keep you alive by strangling you. Yes.
There were a lot of extenuating circumstances which have been cleared up. We have identified that I'm not suffering from kidney failure. I do not have kidney stones. I have possibly a torn muscle in my back, which means that just a matter of time will heal
sucks.
it. Yeah,
it still sucks.
They've got me on 2,400 milligrams of ibuprofen a day. Oh yeah.
I'm
feeling nothing.
I was out of work on Monday because Sunday I didn't tear anything, obviously, but I pulled something. And it's still hurting.
Yeah. I last week I pulled the muscle. It slept wrong on my neck, and it hurt for like 4 days.
Well, what's sad is sleeping on my wonderful mattress is actually not making it better.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so hopefully this next game will not be as bad. I hope to be in a good mood, although I do have to go to work tomorrow. Anyways,
so if you're in a bad mood, I can punch you in the face.
Well, if I'm in a bad mood tomorrow,
I'm punching you in the face.
Well, yeah. No, if I'm in a bad mood tomorrow, I probably will not play. To spare everybody's ears, I probably will not play.
That's fine.
If I'm not feeling up to it, and that way everybody else can have a good time and not listen to me bitch.
You should play the bullywug.
Totally.
That would be awesome. I'd have to be sitting there like this with Andre.
Yes. The other players don't quite know, and none of them really listen to the show, but Clark is a she.
Yeah.
And has chosen Rogar, the Dragonborn, as her mate.
That's going to be really gross when he wakes up with like a pouch of stuff on his head or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the god of bullywugs.
Unfortunately, which you won't hear this before the next game comes out, but we have unfortunately lost one of our players permanently.
Well,
due to a work schedule change for the.
This isn't anything like we lost them to Ebola
did they die?
No.
Yes, we lost them sadly in the war.
No. They've had a permanent
they sort of messed
change.
with her work schedule, and Beth won't be able to play for a bit. So at least until the next shift bid comes around, whichever is going to be.
Months.
So as of right now, Beth isn't going to be there. But we'll talk about that at the start of the game tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we got another email from Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
We got.
Are you Peter Sellers?
No, is Peter Vendewire.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. He said, "Keep up the good work at this time. At this moment, I'm following your Deadlands campaign. I even bought the Deadlands book and started my own one.
Good on you, mate.
The normal podcast, and was also very much into the interviews.
Yeah, now he's like, they suck.
It's like, you son of... Oh, wait. Ethan said that we can make suggestions about people to interview, and I'd like to hear an interview with Keith Baker about Eberron, writing game novels, and if they take the rules into account while writing those, etc., and his traveling. An interview with R.A. Salvatore would also be great.
We would never get that, but we can try.
Okay. I'm perfectly open to interviewing Keith Baker, although if he learns how much we're not big Eberron fans, we'll see how that works. But
the 40
it's
was
sort of a
pretty cool looking, though.
It's really a moot point. Also with R.A. Salvatore, just to let people know, I let people know on the forums, but there is a Wizards of the Coast is great as far as dealing with podcasts. However, Wizards of the Coast and R.A. Salvatore go through a PR firm who I will not name. Now, this PR firm, unfortunately, is not too enamored with helping podcasters at all. So, actually going through them is pretty useless. Unfortunately, unless I go to a convention and catch them there, there's probably not going to be an interview with Keith Baker or with R.A. Salvatore. So, I will try. I'll see what I can pull out, but, we'll see.
You know what? He just when you said Keith Baker, you know what? That reminded me of someone else I think we should try to get an interview with.
Stuart Crump?
No, Kenneth Haidt.
Oh, yeah, I can get him pretty easly.
Yeah, because he's an awesome writer.
And Stuart Crump sent us an email to an amusing little webcomic with Pac-Man called, it's called Igra, Escapades of Percival Pac-Man Esquire. And it's just sort of a Pac-Man with a top hat and a monocle, and he talks, of course, in a British accent. Anyway, he said in his email that... He sent his email that he couldn't help imagining Pac-Man talking like Ethan doing his Hercule Gaston voice. Just saying, Stu Crump. So yes, I'd say
that sounds about right for Pac-Man.
Enjoy, lovely. Let's see, what else did we have? We have an email from Robert Lee Hayes III. Hello, Robert Lee Hayes III. Subject. This is kind of a random one. It says subject Las Vegas. I was wondering if you were based out of Las Vegas. I was listening to your podcast and happened to hear a phone call received from the MGM Grand. I'm a lifetime resident of the city and was wondering.
Yes, actually.
We're in the Kansas portion of Las Vegas.
Actually, it's a casino, the Kansas casino.
Yes, it's on a riverboat. I don't know what you may have been hearing with that, honestly.
He heard the phone call of the MGM Grand?
A phone call received from MGM Grand. Yeah, I got nothing. This came out, and it's not the voicemail we played, so because that one wasn't posted when I got this. So I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Hayes.
But the answer to your question is yes.
The answer to your question is no. We're in Kansas City.
We're in Kansas City, Kansas.
No.
If you can send another email to us and tell us,
if you want to tell us what episode that is, we'll figure out what that was.
What episode it was in, and where at in the episode, so we can listen to it. We can actually give you a response on what exactly it was that you heard. Yeah, more than likely, it was probably a phone ring.
As we all know, in the last episode, we determined that Jim Ryan, who is yet to email me and must email me immediately, Jim Ryan is going to get his free giant frog. And I promised to give a free giant frog to the first person who is not Jeremy to email Nathan.
And we got an email
at his Gamers Haven address. And our old friend Joe McJoe sent an email to Nathan and said, "I say Jeremy won fair and square. Free the frog! Free the frog!"
See?
So Joe
McJoe, just to let you know, Joe, the frog is in the mail on the way to you. So you should enjoy it, and it is free. Yes, it is free in the postal system. When you get it, we want photographic evidence that you have received it for blackmail purposes, of course. So
and then mail it to me.
No.
Oh, by the way, when I was at the pet store today picking up live rock and some new turbo snails for my saltwater aquarium, I found out how much it would cost to actually get an Eastern American toad. So,
1 million lira.
Actually, $2.35.
So yeah, 1 million lira.
Yeah, roughly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I might actually get an Eastern American toad to put out in the garden to eat the bugs.
Nice.
Because toads are cool that way.
But it's not a giant toad.
I don't know. It is the largest North American toad available.
Bonus.
All right. The coolest toads are those
we
ones with the giant
we got another voicemail.
Sags off.
We got
the tomato toads.
No, they're up in like they're in Central America or something, up in the mountains.
The Pac-Man.
And their skin is all wrinkly, so it can hold
heat.
Air. No, it's air because they spend so much time underwater.
Those are frogs. Those are not toads.
It's still awesome.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's a frog. It's not a toad.
So,
toads are terrestrial. Toads are terrestrial.
We now that we've had the biology lesson,
I don't know anything
we're going to
about
listen to a
toads and
voicemail.
No.
Sweet.
Hi, this is Arthur. I just wanted to let you guys know what a big fan I was of all your stuff, and especially of your actual play. I think I love all the things, but my favorite cast-up would be a grouping of Ethan, Andre, Eric, and Michael, and I guess the girls can come too, and that would be like a quantum singularity.
It's all good.
Yes, I really think that got cut off at the end there, but I believe that he probably was going on to say quantum singularity of awesomeness. Yes, it would be. Anything with me in it is obviously awesome. But, well, okay, not really. But thank you very much for the voicemail. It makes it all worthwhile that we actually have the thing. Everyone should call it. Everyone should call the voicemail immediately.
Especially drunk call it.
Yeah, drunk dial it out. I'll play it. I don't care. But yeah, well, we'll see what we can do about the quantum singularity of awesome. Thank you for listening to the actual play. That's actually a very popular portion of the show, so we're very happy about that. Thank you. And our voicemail line is, of course, 877-416-1270. So feel free to call that number and stuff. After that, we got another email from Jeffrey, who this time is just letting us know that episode 61 cuts off midway into the Game of Thrones review at 4119. I believe that was just because I was uploading it at the time when you probably downloaded it. So. Got an email from John Maynard, who says, I've tried to go to the old Gamers Haven website to check on the latest actual play episodes and can't seem to get connected. It's there. Is there a new page to look for? I would appreciate any info. I'm currently listening to The Deadlands and enjoying it a lot. iTunes has totally revamped its listings, and so, of course, has become harder to find the actual play D&D games that I've gotten addicted to. I currently listen to Critical Hits, Icosahedrophilia, and all of your podcasts. If you know any other podcasts of actual play to look for, I would love that too. Well, to answer the first question, yes, we moved to a new site. CanadianCrusaders.com is now operating as a redirect directly to our new site, which is GamersHavenPodcast.com. So, to all of our wonderful listeners out there, update your links. As far as other actual play stuff, if you're into Call of Cthulhu, I'd go check out the actual play stuff over at yogsothoth.com, which is yog-sothoth.com, SOTHOTH.com. Those guys do really good actual play stuff. So there is that. And then we got an email from Ben, who's not our Ben, a different Ben. Just let me know of some broken links on the site, which I went and fixed. Really, I just want to point out to people, if you spot a broken link on the site, please let me know. Ethan at gamershaven.com, or just go over to our contact page and fill out that form and send it on. Because I definitely want the site to, function and stuff. So that would be nice. We have one more thing to talk about here with our random encounters, but we'll wait for Nathan to get back. So we'll be back here in just a second. Gamers Haven Incorporated proudly presents a Thousand Monkeys production of a pinnacle entertainment game. Deadlands Reloaded. Enough Room to Die. Featuring the Gamers Haven regulars,
A campaign 6 years in the making. Secret societies, bloodthirsty demons. The story's got it all. But can the heroes unravel the plot before it's too late? One thing's for certain, is they're going to either have enough room to live or enough room to die. Available for download only at gamershavenpodcast.com.
Okay, we're back with a special Gamers Haven commentary on an article that was just posted up this morning, today being, of course, Friday, March 5th. By the time people get to this, they've probably heard a bit about what Activision has been doing. Basically, a little background is Activision basically released some information on March 2nd saying that they believe 2 senior-level employees of Modern Warfare developer Infinity Ward have breached contract and committed insubordination, and that they said this will involve the departure of key personnel and litigation. Now, right on the heels of that, they started their investigation. A source close to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 developer just informed me that, quote, a bunch of bouncer types just showed up outside of the Infinity Ward offices unannounced. When approached by employees, the ununiformed, quote-unquote, bouncers were unwilling to disclose why they were there. Everyone is on edge, said my source. Infinity Ward Studios says Vince Zampella and Jason West reportedly met with Activision this morning and have not been seen by Infinity Ward staff members since. My source did not delve into the specifics, but described the relationship between Infinity Ward and Activision lately as quote-unquote tense. The mood around the Infinity Ward offices is currently described as, quote, freaked out and, quote, confused. Quote, we just want to make our games, said my source. I've contacted Activision for comment on the ongoing situation at Infinity Ward. Stay tuned. This is also on the G4 website is where I'm getting that information. Now, from that, pretty much a little bit of background is Modern Warfare 2 came out from Infinity Ward and grossed $2 billion for Activision. Highest grossing game in history, basically.
Not only is it the highest grossing game in history, it's also the film in history and the most selling game in history by this point in time and its release time. I mean, it came out November 14th, I think. Yeah,
and it raked. It's still raking in money. It is. Yeah. It is.
Even with all the complaints against the PC version, with all the problems the PC version has, it is making money hand over fist.
It turns out that from what we can piece together is these 2 studio heads, West and Zampella, are
Jason West and Vince Zampella.
Were unceremoniously escorted out of the studio they created by apparently rented goons, these large bouncer types that were brought in. This is a quote from their from their lawyer in the countersuit that they filed. Basically, it says Activision conducted an investigation in a manner to maximize the inconvenience and anxiety it would cause West and Zampella. On little notice, Activision insisted on conducting interviews over the President's Day holiday weekend. West and Zampella were interrogated for over 6 hours in a windowless conference room. Activision investigators brought other Infinity Ward employees to tears in their questioning and accusations and threatened West and Zampella with, quote, insubordination if they attempted to console them. Activision's outside counsel demanded that West and Zampella, quote, surrender their personal computers, phones, and communication devices to Activision for review by Activision's outside counsel, and when West and Zampella asserted their legally protected privacy rights, Activision's counsel said that doing so constituted further acts of insubordination. So essentially, Activision has decided to
become the Gestapo of gaming.
Yeah, take a company that has made them $2 billion. That's not an M, that's a B. That's $1 billion. And shoot it in the head. And fired the 2 guys who were running the company and is now trying to sue them.
So Infinity Ward, actually, they did a countersuit. Jason West and Vance Zampella The publisher was right, and the pair today filed suit. This is the statement from the lawyer. Activision has refused to honor the terms of its agreements, and it's intentionally flouting the fundamental public policy of the state of California that employers must pay their employees with what they have rightfully earned. This is from attorney Robert Schwartz. It's a law firm of O'Melveny and Myers. Instead of thanking, lauding, or just plain paying Jason and Vince for giving Activision the most successful entertainment product ever offered to the public, last month Activision hired lawyers to conduct a pretextual investigation into unstated and unsubstantiated charges of insubordination and breach of fiduciary duty, which then became the grounds of their termination on Monday, March 1st.
And in their filing with in the filing that Activision made with the SEC, they said this is what sort of instigated some of this was the company is concluding an internal human resources inquiry into breaches of contract and insubordination by 2 senior employees at Infinity Ward. The matter is expected to involve the departure of key personnel and litigation. At present, the company does not expect this matter to have a material impact on the company.
So basically, now, okay, because I don't know all the background on this. So Activision hired
an external party, third party,
to create this game for them.
Yes.
Well, Infinity Ward is actually a development
it's a game
company.
development company.
They're a game development. So they created this game that
Activision, did they buy it or did they...
As it stands, Infinity Ward owned the rights to the Call of Duty franchise and sold it to Activision. It was the only way Activision would actually publish the game.
Okay,
Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty was a massive success. It came out on the PC. It was so massively successful that they actually pushed it out on Call of Duty 2 to the consoles as well, the next generation consoles that were out at the time, which is the 360, and made even more money. Call of Duty 3 was then made by Treyarch Studios, if I remember correctly, and was a horrible failure.
Yep.
Treyarch Studios has not done a successful Call of Duty game. People say World at War was pretty good, but the thing is it's still junk compared to the rest of the Call of Duty series that was done by Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward responded to that and were very unhappy with the fact that Activision pushed the rights for Call of Duty to another publisher, that they created Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare was an incredible game.
So Activision hired this other company.
Or paid this other company.
Paid this other company to do this. And now they're sending in thugs.
Yes.
So it's a hostile takeover.
Well, no, they own they own the developer
now.
Okay, so they own them. And
but
they made a bunch of employees cry.
What I've sort of figured out is I think these 2 guys were basically trying to maneuver around a little bit and basically get a job somewhere else and leave the company and position themselves in a way where they could take their guys with them.
Right.
Take the people under them with them,
that
because
sense.
the economy sucks. And Activision got wind of this and interrogated them for 6 hours.
I don't think you can legally do that.
You can't, technically. Not the way they did it.
I would be suing them for false imprisonment. Like I would be like asking for everything, including Bobby Kotick's pants.
I would be asking for $2 billion.
And right now, they want the modern. They're countersuing, and they say they want the Modern Warfare license. They want that brand back, and they want $36 million.
Which is actually how much they're owed in royalties.
Yeah, which I think that's lowballing it. I think as an attorney, I'd be like, and punitive damages in excess of whatever the judge decides to give us.
Yeah. Because, and honestly, in this situation, if it's looked at in an actual...
this outside counsel told them to turn over their personal cell phones and personal computers.
Yeah. Private property.
I'm sorry.
No, that breaks laws.
That's private property. That's an invasion of my privacy and my civil rights.
Yeah, that breaks
you
more
cannot
laws than
make
you can
me
think
do
of.
that.
So,
and the fact that they had hired goons outside the door.
Think that
this is like borderline kidnapping charges.
Did they not think that these high-ranking managers would not go get their own lawyers?
And it's entirely one of those situations where if I was in this situation, I'd be like, I am not talking to you. You are going to talk to my lawyer. I am.
I mean,
really. And that is all I would say for 6 hours if necessary. And be like, and when I get out of there, I'm having you arrested.
Yeah.
I would have called the police.
Yeah, I would have called the cops to
want this phone? 911. Yeah, there's a guy trying to steal my phone, and he won't let me out of this room.
I'm at this address. Please come and remove them.
Yeah.
Honestly, this breaks so many laws. It's not even funny.
My brother Eric sent me this article this morning, and I was reading it. My jaw was just on the floor, and I'm like, if I had read this on like April 1st, I would have thought that it was an April Fool's joke. But no,
No.
This is one of those things where you read it, and you're like,
well, the
wow.
more and more I think about it, I'm just like, what?
It just doesn't make sense.
So their way of
correcting what they thought was an issue.
No, their way of paying back the people who gave them the greatest selling multimedia thing ever in the history of games is to fire them and threaten them and try to take their personal property from them and file a lawsuit against them.
They've determined that it is more worth their while to file a lawsuit and go through all this against them, pay those legal fees, rather than pay them their bonuses.
Yes.
Which is what they're owed.
This is honestly what this is. I believe his name's Jack Trent, isn't it?
The CEO of Activision. It's Bobby Kotick.
Kotick. This is another point against Bobby Kotick, showing that he is so
smurf
greedy that he can't keep his hands out of the money, that he has to screw everybody else over. Remember, this is the same man that said at one of the annual financial results that they would not do a single product.
Here are 3 quotes from Bobby Kotick to give you an idea. Bobby Kotick, this Activision Blizzard CEO, all right, said, quote, "Take the goal that I had in bringing a lot of packaged goods folks into Activision about 10 years ago was to take all the fun out of making video games." That's one quote. Second quote, "We are very good at keeping people focused on the Deep Depression." That's the second quote. And the third quote, my personal favorite, "The games that Activision Blizzard didn't pick up," he said, "don't have the potential to be exploited every year on every platform with clear sequel potential and have the potential to become $100 million franchises."
Yes.
Yeah.
His terms are exploited. Let's talk about the fact that he also has stated on many, many occasions that he likes to keep the publishers, the producers of the games, the developers of the games, on their toes by restricting cash flow to their projects and by threatening their actual employee staff with layoffs. So they'll release a better game. You know what happens when you threaten the staff and make them fear they're going to lose their jobs? They put out a half-assed product. Mm-hmm. And let's look at Activision's track record lately with hit games.
The economy doesn't help. It's because in the economy as it is now,
they've got people under a freaking over.
You have looking over at Infinity Ward. You know, this has just happened to the CEOs. As a person working there, would you want to sit there and work for those people?
Fuck no.
But the problem
my ass is out of there.
If you're working paycheck to paycheck, you don't have the luxury of saying I quit. Because you can't. You have a family to feed. You have whatever. You have rent to pay.
Or a
and
house
with this
payment
economy,
to make.
you're not guaranteed that you're going to leave and get a job
anywhere else.
But as soon as the economy starts moving,
well, it shows
a
that
lot of brain power it could just be like we're gone.
There's such a disconnect between game publishers and developers. And it's like, we have the money, you're going to do what we want, and they set up things that along the lines of here, put out this game and it does well, so you're going to get a bonus, but we're going to pay this bonus out over the course of 2 years. But if you get fired, you don't get anything else past that. So all this work you've done to get this game released up until its release date is great. But then over the next 2 years, it's like, okay, here's your small bonus,
right.
Small bonus, you're fired. Rather than you get the bonus that you're due. This is what publishers are doing
on a regular basis. Look at Warhammer, the Warhammer Online game.
EA is very guilty of doing stuff like this. But thing is,
did they send goons?
No. What EA does, EA are bastards, yes. But Activision has taken a look has seen what EA does and goes, oh, that's Bush League. We can do better than that.
Does he think that there's not laws?
I think from what I understand of this man is he thinks he's above the law.
I was reading this going, is this a movie starring Harrison Ford?
This script is so bad, it's laughable.
It just sounds like a bad Hollywood thriller, doesn't it? Some big company doing this stuff. It just sounds like, it's a Michael Crichton book, or John Grisham is going to come out and say, it's my new novel.
What do you think, guys?
Wow.
There's not even a wow to this. This is one of those things where I look at it and go...
And I posted it up on the forums and just said, I'm speechless.
This is one of those things we look at and go, I hereby vow from this point further on, I will never support another Activision product. No more Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
I love Guitar Hero. No more Band Hero.
And
I like Band Hero. No more DJ Hero. I like DJ Hero. I will not buy any more Activision products. I will not play World of Warcraft because it is owned by Activision. I will not buy any expansion packs. I will not purchase anything that comes from Activision from this point on because they have proven to me that they are a company that is disreputable and does not deserve my money.
I mean,
period.
That's why I say, wow.
And honestly, I hope that Zampanella and West sue them so hard and win and get everything plus punitive damages and get rights to Modern Warfare.
Modern
and take
Warfare
it to another
rights,
publisher.
$36 million, punitive damages, and Bobby Kotick's pants for the next 10 years. He can wear capris, he can wear shorts, but if he buys pants, they're coming to me. I'm not going to wear them. I'm just going to burn them. I don't care.
They did that.
I can.
That's what I'd be like. I want his pants.
I mean,
at the end of that at the end of that lawsuit, he would be owning a barrel.
I mean, the lawyers that work
if
for
I were
him.
If I were the actual Activision shareholders, I would be pressing to have Bobby Kotick removed from Chief Executive Officer.
The lawyers who work for him should have said,
"Well, we can't do this."
What?
You honestly think he went to the lawyers? You heard the remarks this man make. He obviously doesn't think before he does anything. This man is a fucking retard.
Remember, it's this outside counsel is the one who was making these outrageous, give us your cell phones, da da da. They're obviously not reliable attorneys and shouldn't be practicing and should be disbarred.
Some other person that got disbarred because he wasn't a reliable attorney.
I wouldn't give anybody my cell phone.
No,
screw you.
I paid for this amount of money.
I'll go outside. You can escort me off.
My words would be, "Do you have a warrant?" Oh no, you don't, because you're not associated with law enforcement. How quaint.
Yeah. My response from them when they started demanding my private property, interrogating me, would be, you have 15 minutes to disperse and leave the property. I'm calling the police, and if you're not gone in 15 minutes, they will escort you off the property, and I will press charges. This is harassment.
It's just wow,
I don't care if I got fired for my job. I would have them pulled off the property.
I entirely think these two guys.
It's Jason West and Vince Zampella.
West and Zampella should.
Zampella. I'm sorry, Zampella.
Start their own.
They're doing. I think they're doing this the right way. Is they're getting the press involved, and I would totally, as their attorney, good for you. Get the press in here because.
I would be calling the press as I walk.
I've been following this since
on my cell phone.
I'd be calling anyone that's going to listen.
I've been following this.
Home and Garden Gazette. Guess what?
Not to mention, this isn't just a normal. A normal, just run of the mill employee. May not no, okay, but these are heads.
Yeah,
these are the
guys who help them
officers.
Sell a $2 billion game.
They understand how they have to understand
how the law works,
how this functions.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like these guys are not idiots you push around. It's like what the hell are you thinking?
The normal employee doesn't quite always get it. No. Now after the fact, he may be like, well, what the hell just happened? I'm going to call the,
Yeah.
But these guys, it's like, what? What were you thinking with?
So
what?
now you see, while I was reading this, I'm going, huh?
Let's talk about also the fact that Activision recently recalled an agreement they had with a little company of people who were putting together a game, a non-commercial game that was in the vein of King's Quest series. It was an homage. It took place with the King's Quest characters. They had already worked out a deal for a non-commercial license for distribution for this game. It's called The Silver Lining, and they worked it out with Vivendi Universal, which owned the rights to Sierra. Vivendi Universal also owned Blizzard. Activision bought out Vivendi Universal specifically for the purchasing rights of Blizzard. When they took over Blizzard, they've been in direct contact with the people who did The Silver Lining for several months, and decided that since they could not make any money off the Silver Lining product, that they would not allow them to have a non-commercial license for the product, and have caused them to cease and desist on this product, which they've been working on for 9 years.
Well,
this is corporate greed to the nth degree.
Let me throw this out.
To the point where from what I understand, that the original owner of Sierra, Ken Williams, is planning on suing to get the rights to his own company back because he doesn't like what's being done with it.
Not to be on their side, because they totally
wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But we do have to think about that these are corporations.
They were
the
corporation.
Whole point. Well, they were. Yeah, I'm not sure they're gonna survive.
No, we are a corporation.
No. I'm saying these guys.
Yes.
They're a corporation, and their whole point is to make money. Now, video games
make lots of money,
but they still have to be created. They still have to be, the engines created, all that kind of stuff.
It costs a lot of money to make a video game. Yes.
Being ruthless, I understand. It may not. It may bother us.
Yeah, there's being ruthless, and then there's being stupid.
Right.
This is not ruthless.
Stupid.
Ruthless would be
not to mention. I totally disagree. I'm like, if you're going to treat your employees like
Smurf,
if you're gonna treat them like that, yeah, you're gonna get
Smurf
back. And I do think they should share the wealth, but
The thing you have to think of is this: the way that that Activision should have gone about this, if they were going to fire these people, they should have done it the way that Electronic Arts does it, in a way that doesn't get them sued. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter was Modern Warfare 2
with hired goons.
Yes, Modern Warfare 2 was late. It was not. It did not come out on time, on schedule. So what they should have done was 2 weeks before the actual release of the game, they should have done what Electronic Arts does, and they go in and they fire the heads of the company due to the failure to deliver the product in a timely manner as per scheduled by the contract. They didn't do that.
Is it crappy? Yeah.
Yes, but the thing is you understand why they did it.
It's legal. Yeah.
This is not legal.
This is messed up.
This is bordering on what you saw happening in places like communist Russia. And I hate to bring it up because I know people will say, you have no right to go there. But this sounds like the stories you hear about coming from people who had to deal with the Gestapo in Nazi Germany back in the 1930s and 40s. This is not stuff that's supposed to happen nowadays. This is not something that a company is supposed to do. It's understandable to hire a third party to do an investigation. You pretty much can't. You have to do that. But to allow a third party to extort and to threaten and to intimidate and to do what they did,
hired goons.
Yeah, and without
is illegal to.
They can't just take their stuff.
No, they have to have a warrant for that.
That's I don't care who they are. They're not.
The police are legally allowed to remove personal objects from you, but they have to have a warrant.
They have to have probable cause.
They have to have probable cause. Well, they can search you with probable cause, but to take your items, they still have to have a warrant.
Yeah,
but they can detain you until they get a warrant.
They can detain you to get a warrant. But these people aren't the law.
No.
And they were vastly overstepping their legal capabilities.
But
and
you
in
see
the process,
what I mean? You expect this to be a Michael Crichton novel. You really do. Wow. Huh.
This should have never happened.
Like a Michael Crichton novel. It's going to end with the judge going, "You did what?"
Yeah, I hope it ends that way. I hope a judge. I hope. Please, legal system, don't
fail us now.
Looks at this and goes, "You did the hell were you thinking? My God!
Did you honestly think you could get away with this?"
And if I was his legal team, I would quit. I would be like,
I'd go over to the other side.
You're not listening to us anyway. Here's my 2 weeks. I'm out.
Honestly,
I'm take a vacation.
I'm just curious who Activision's going to throw under the bus for this. This is going to go bad for him at this point.
Yeah,
and
there's no way it's going to go well.
And I really think they're going to throw that outside.
Yeah, they're going to
throw them under the bus.
They're going to say that.
Honestly, like, oh wait, they acted without our authorization, and it's like, well.
What I would do is that they acted without our authorization. That's nice, fine, and dandy. But the fact of the matter is, you allowed this group to be hired, and then you did not take steps to actually keep them from doing something like this. Therefore, you as the company are at fault, and therefore need to be dealt with. Honestly, I think a vote of confidence needs to be put against Bobby Kotick, and he needs to be removed as CEO of Activision, and he needs to be replaced with someone who's more level-headed. This man is a psycho.
This is why money, at some point, is just evil. That's just messed up.
Speaking of money, go ahead and hit our website at GameTapePodcast.com, and we have a support page where you can support us, subscribe to the show, any of that.
Yeah,
so.
But
and we won't send goons.
No, we're not. Even if you don't send us money, we're not going to send goons. So. Well, we might send Mansquito, but if we do that, he's just running from Mansquito.
Yeah.
So
you'd be doing him a favor.
But
at that point.
We should be wrapping this up now. That was just popped up today, and we had to talk. I just wanted to talk about that.
I've been following that since Monday when Tom's Hardware posted that they've been fired.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We will talk to you next time.
You've been listening to the Gamers Haven podcast. Subscribe to the show by visiting our website at gamershavenpodcast.com, where you can also discuss all things gaming in our forum, drop us an email, or just peruse our episode archives. You can also call us toll-free and leave a message to be played on the show by dialing 1-877-416-1270. That's toll-free, 877-416-1270. On our website, you'll also find our actual play podcasts, chronicling our misadventures through all things role-playing. Enjoy what you hear? Why not support the Gamers Haven by purchasing Gamers Haven merchandise, visiting our affiliates, or just by clicking on our donate button? The Gamers Haven podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial, Share-alike 3.0 United States license, some rights reserved. Some music in this podcast is used with permission of Joe Hero Band at joehero.com. This is a Thousand Monkeys production.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.